we want to talk about Lynch's interview with Cris Collinsworth. Do you want to give a quick little Cliff Notes?
Yeah, I'll give you about 5 or 6 things that he said that were interesting. So first of all, he confirmed that they went after the Jets pick at 2, Dolphins pick at 3, Falcons pick at 4, Bengals pick at 5. He said that he didn't think the guys that they were interested in would make it to 12. He also said that Trey was the early favorite. East Bay. He also said Trey was the early favorite, but they did their due diligence on everybody else. Here was the one thing that really stood out to me most, though. He said on the way back from the Fields workout, Kyle was drawing up plays while they were on the plane. And he asked him what he was doing, and he said he was drawing up plays for Trey Lance. Is that a bit overdoing it? Do you believe that?
Yes, of course. He's playing it on so thick. But I love John Lynch. He's like, look, man, no one's going to ever verify this. This is between me and Kyle. All right. Kyle, I'm going to say you always liked him. All right. I'm going to go and say that you were drawing up plays. What are you going to do? Say I was wrong? I'm not saying he's lying, but that's between him, Kyle, and God at this point, man. I mean, I love John. It's like, yeah, man, I can say I got total license here, man. This is for the good of the organization. Kyle, just let me do my thing. I'm going to say this. So John is so good at what he does. He's the most underrated executive in the NFL.
He is.
So good. Because he's listening to us. He's like, okay, the narrative out there is that we're split. Kyle didn't want him. That's a problem. I got to handle that. So what I got to do is do Kyle's work. I'm going to go out there and say that Kyle was like, hey, he didn't even know. I was watching him. He was doodling up plays. And he said, I heart Trey. There were all these doodles. And he didn't know that I saw that. You got to love John Lynch. He's so savvy. So do I buy it? No. But Lynch is doing what he needs to do. And Kyle, get on board sooner or later because your career is now tied to Trey Lance, whether you want it to be or not. Whether you want it to be or not, it's you and him, baby. It's you and him.
He was writing Trey Lance notes. Do you like
me? He was just writing Trey Lance's name over and over and over again, right?
Here's the other things that he said that I found interesting. On the Mac rumors, he said, people make stuff up. There is no consequences for being wrong.
Yeah, Adam Schefter just throws stuff against the wall and sees what sticks. Same with Ian Rappaport, Mike Silver, Todd McShay, Matt Mayoko. John, I love you. God love you. I love you, man.
He said what they saw in Trey, they see upside in him. He sees mechanical things that need to be cleaned up. We just talked about that. But he reads defense as well and makes his progressions, which he loved.
Love it. I agree.
And then the last two things he said.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. The last two things that he said were he told Jed York that they wanted to move up to 3, but as a part of that stipulation, they wanted to keep Jimmy and had to make sure that was okay before they did it.
Because they wanted Trey Lance all along. It was Trey Lance or no one. Always. Okay, hold on. I have a takeaway real quick. I don't buy this. It's the spin, and it's what I would do if I were John Lynch. Mm-hmm. But I think it's pretty clear that at no point was Justin Fields in the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That one thing is clear. Yes.
Jed York got a private jet, sent them out to Columbus for him to watch Justin Fields. And on the way back, he's thinking about Trey Lance. Justin Fields was never in the conversation for the 49ers. Never.
No.
A lot of people saying that they was, and his sources is going to be, but no, never. And apparently Mac Jones wasn't either. But, hey, man, okay, fine, whatever. That's fine. I'll believe you if I see Trey Lance going to Tom House or you have some plan, because I feel like any team that drafted Trey Lance had to have okay, yes, he has mechanical issues, but we got to do X, Y, Z, and we've had success with this, and it's in our organization, not a problem. Okay, let's see it, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, listen, they knew that this was an issue. Lynch just said it. What are they going to do about it? Right? Because the excuse no longer lies with Shanahan that I don't have my guy. If this is nice, Eric.
Nice.
It's a way to get banned in a chat. But yeah, if he doesn't pan out because you didn't put the right resources in front of him and you knew about these issues, well, you know, how good is that going to look on Shanahan? So I don't know. I'm curious to see how this plays out. The last thing that he said was when they reached out to Jimmy and let him know that they were taking a quarterback, Jimmy flat out asked him, am I going to have a legit chance to compete for the starting job? To which, of course, the answer was yes.
And you saw Jimmy's face yesterday, right?
I did.
The happiest he's been in years.
You know what? You went on a Ponte show last night, and Ponte brought something up, and I actually kind of agreed with him. It was very happy in the beginning, but I do feel like he was starting to get peeved towards the middle before even you asked.
After all the Trey Lance questions? Hey, how great is Trey? What's your impression of Trey? Have you talked to Trey? Yeah. What's Trey's mom like? What about his dad? What about his little brother? Yeah, that's enough, man. Hasn't Jimmy earned enough, like one question about him? And the one question was me asking about his knee. Like, Jimmy, you played well in practice today. No one cares. Mufasa says, let's say Jimmy gets hurt, Lance goes in and is terrible, loses 4 games in a row. Will Kyle and Lynch be fired? That is the worst case scenario right there. You just laid it out. Sure. Jimmy gets hurt week 1. I mean, Trey's still a work in process. And now, see, that's why to me, they should be working a third quarterback into these drills. And the fact that Rosen is standing there watching is such a waste. But maybe that's in the future. I think there should be someone else just in case this happens. It's in case that particular thing happens.
Well, I want to clarify that too, because you said that and people were like, well, we saw Rosen throwing in practice. Well, yeah, they did the basic where they drop back and they throw at the beginning to warm up. But you're talking 7-on-7 and 11-on-11, right?
Competition. I'm talking competition. Okay. Competition. Yeah.
Yep.
That's warming up. So I mean, I got to make that clear because you guys don't go to the practices. They start off by warming up and then they do all the little drills so that way they don't, pull muscles and stuff.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right. But they did 0 7-on-7 and 11-on-11
for Rosen. 0 for Sudfeld, 0 for Rosen, 0 for Johnson. It's like now in Kyle's defense, they literally did like an hour practice. So he said like, look, I'm going to get them down the line. Well, all right. I'd be pissed if I was Rosen's agent, but I guess at this point, like he really can't. Beggars can't be choosers at this point.
Yeah.
Pink Trip says Saleh and the Jets obviously played Kyle and company. Hold on. Let me read slower. Saleh and the Jets obviously played Kyle and company and made them think Wilson would be available at 3 and then played them. It's war out there. Trey Lance may end up being effective. He may end up being very good. Is he ever going to be worth the trade up to 3 is a different question. And it's almost an unfair question. He shouldn't have to be worth that. But that's what the Niners did. And it's always going to be interesting to see, like, what if they had just stayed at 12 and took Mac Jones? What if they just stayed at 12? I mean, I think Niner fans would be happy. But trading up there, I mean, it changed things, man. Trading up a month before the draft, that is a decision that they're going to have to think about because that is one that I don't think a lot of teams would have done. Essentially, we picked the player. Me and you. Yep. You gave us a month. We spent a lot of time on YouTube. We picked the player, me and you.
Yeah.
And we have no track record. I don't do this for a living. I could be wrong. And I don't get fired. Kyle, you're going to get fired if we're wrong. So in the future, we tried. Yeah. We gave it an honest effort.
We did. Yeah, that's the thing, right? If the pick was made at 12, no matter who the quarterback is, right? Let's say Lance. Let's take Lance completely out of this. Whether the pick is made at 12 versus 3, no matter who the guy is, the psychoanalysis, this stuff that we're doing right now, talking about 7-on-7s in May, we're not talking about those things. They're not as big of a deal, but because you traded so much capital, people are going to be extremely impatient. And I get it.
One more thing. Remember, Colin Kaepernick was never in a position to play as a rookie. Mm-hmm. But that was a lockout year. He didn't have spring practices. This is a blessing for Trey Lance. Maybe this is going to be the springboard for him to actually be ready to compete and take the job as a rookie, a 21-year-old rookie in August. One way to think about it. Glass half full. Twiggy Cobb says, yo, Iggy, is that instructions for coach for Trey, all 3 reads, i.e. we want you to hit your 3rd read before throwing? Possible. That is possible. Let me ask. Next time, if he keeps doing that, holding the ball, I'll ask. Fair question, because maybe he's just executing. Plug in Lance like the Ravens did L. Jackson. The expectations are so much higher for him, man. Lamar Jackson is a great player too, but he was like the 32nd pick in the draft. This guy is supposed to be, I don't know, more than running back.